Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, almost. This week's shows are going to be short, they're going to be sweet, and they're going to be around healing and why people don't heal, and brain health with regards to depression, with regards to memory loss, with regards to aging. I've got Lisa Thomas on the show on Tuesday and Jeannie Peters on the show on Thursday. I did do a video of this as well, so for those of you that aren't connected to me through social media, you can watch the videos at jjflazanes.tv. That is my YouTube channel, and both of those videos are up there if you'd prefer to watch it instead of listen to it. But I obviously wanted to extract the audio from it so that those of you that are driving can listen, because you won't be able to watch. I also posted them on my Facebook page, as well as a very small little snippet on Instagram, and then also on Twitter. So make sure that if you're not connected to me in some way, that you get connected to me on social media in case there's a video, which is an absolute, that I can't, for whatever reason, put here on the podcast. That's jjflazanes.tv. And one more Christmas holiday present to all of you who are listening, who are on the fence about coming to the January event this week, 25% off. Again, this will be the last time it is done in this way, where I actually have room for more people, and it's somewhat convenient because you get a free shuttle from the airport. You can share a hotel room. The expenses for the food are non-existent because I feed you and give you all kinds of drinks and fun stuff. So anyway, if you're interested, again, please take the leap. I promise it's only going to get more expensive and more inconvenient to get to in a smaller room. So we're doing 25% off this week for Releasing What Weighs You Down. Use the code 25OFF. Those are capital OFF, RWWYD. So 25 off, 25 off, RWWYD. So 25 off, Releasing What Weighs You Down. Use that code for the live event and you'll get 25% off. You also are running out of time to get the virtual ticket. The virtual ticket will stop being on sale around January 8th. So if you want to get the virtual ticket, which will mean you will get all of the sessions, all of the workbook, all of the exercises, all of the healings, all of the meditations, all of the exercises, you will get all of it to do on your own, in your own time, plus 3 months of accountability to make sure that you actually do it. You will get that with the virtual ticket, and you'll get all of those probably 2 to 3 weeks after the event is over. All right, so make sure to go to releasingwhatweighsyoudown.com and choose either the virtual ticket or to come to the live event. Again, that's releasingwhatweighsyoudown.com, 25% off the live ticket. Enjoy today's show. Super important. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's video and audio cast. I'm JJ Flazanes, the host of several podcasts, and I am here with Lisa Thomas. We did this on video, so for those of you hearing it on the podcast, you can come over to jjflazanes.tv and watch it on video. So you can see Lisa and I on video. I'm going to throw in some extra videos from the event so you can see us both in action, and you can get a sense of what it is that we do to help people heal. And today's topic, it's going to be a short show. I just want to address the idea of healing, because I think that the healing is misunderstood. I think that people assume that there's a certain amount of responsibility that they don't have, that they can't control, and that things that they think they have too much control over that they actually don't. So before we get too far into today's show, I want Lisa to remind us. Lisa is a healer. She clears inherited emotional DNA. But Lisa, why don't you tell for those who are listening or watching that don't know you, tell us a little bit about what it is that you do to help people heal.
Beautiful. I release inherited patterns that we get from our mom and dad, from our bloodline, from our lineage, and these get handed down in the cell memory of our body. So we inherit our gifts and our talents, as well as trauma energy, fears around spiders. We inherit our beliefs around money. We inherit these thoughts, and it complicates life at times, because remember, I am focusing on what comes down negatively to empower what you inherited in the gifted way to show up more.
And how, for those that don't know, do you help clear those patterns and energies?
Absolutely. We do not have to hold on to them. Yeah.
But how do you do it? For those that don't know, who haven't worked with you, how do you do it? Like they're thinking, well, how do you do that?
I tap into the subconscious through kinesiology. So even though I am clairvoyant, even though I have those gifts, I always trust the client's body to give me the answer. So I'll muscle test by asking a question, you know, and then I receive the answer by just a various different ways.
And then the clearing process happens. If you had to explain it to somebody who was listening or watching, is it through, like just energy moving? Is it through part hypnosis? I know you're a certified hypnotherapist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that.
I can do it through hypnosis, although usually when clients come to me one-on-one, I'm doing it in a different format. So I've been trained in so many different techniques that I just have formulated my own, and I release it from the body, because once the subconscious tells me what it is, then it's telling me because it's ready to let it go. So I do it a variety of different ways, JJ. I'm not really exactly sure what you're asking me. I come down through the governing meridian. I can do it yeah.
Right. Well, for someone that, obviously, I know, but for those, I'm trying to explain it to those who think, I don't understand how she does this. And again, I want to try to give them some kind of picture, if possible, some kind of intellectual understanding. I know it's not an intellectual necessarily thing, but for those that are listening and wondering, well, I don't get it. Like, it sounds good, but I'm not sure how you do it. So just trying to see if we can't put any words to it.
I think that's kind of like building the plane. We don't really care how the plane is built. What we care about is what we feel afterwards, and where we get to our destination. And that's what I'm able to do, is release the block that is preventing them from getting to how they want their destination.
So I know that in my work, when, it's like the prescription, like if I can do inside out and outside in when it comes to mindset, when it comes to awareness, when it comes to connecting with their body, both emotionally as well as physically, when it comes to biochemistry, or when it comes to endocrinology, or when it comes to, listening to the subconscious as much as you can when you're in a conscious state. So those are the, exercises, but then there's sometimes, again, those habits and patterns that then I refer people obviously to you to help them clear. Now in reverse, what would you say, because in your work and my work, we help people and we can only take them so far. There's a point in which people have to sort of own their healing and do things to switch up versus to delegate. It's kind of a victim mentality in a way, to just go and say, okay, well, that person's going to heal me and I don't have to do anything. So if you had to identify for some of the people that you've worked with that need to, like, what would your advice be to people to take more responsibility for their healing? What's the next step?
How about we reframe victim? Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're not a victim when they come to me and say, help me. All right. Right. So victim is about where you want to blame everyone else for your problem. And you get caught in this story as this is your identity, that you can't change, that you are the way you are because of this, this, and this. And there is truth to that, but you can't live in that story, because that makes your life very difficult. You're going to be attracting those patterns and stay in those patterns that keep you feeling like you're a victim to your circumstances, or you don't have to be.
Absolutely. Right. So when people come and, let's say, because I know I've worked with you several times and you've been at all the events, and we're going to be doing the next Releasing What Weighs You Down in January 10th through the 13th. Everybody, there's a few tickets left. It's the last of its kind in terms of the way that we're doing it. So we still have space. And Lisa does live clearings, live group clearings, which are extremely powerful because she's picking up on that dominant energy in the room. And it's extremely valuable for, you're not learning at the event. You're actually doing, you're processing, you're actually,
you're doing it.
Right. You're doing it.
Yeah.
And what I love about the combination that I want people to understand is, because some people will go to an event or go to work with a therapist or work with somebody, and they'll be like one part of it. And then that part will take, like, maybe they go once a week, or then maybe they go once a month. And, when we start to like crack into something that we're working on, but once you get the momentum going, it often stops because there's not enough time or space to actually continue to sort of weed the garden and detox the body and
detox it.
Right.
So what you and I do beautifully together at this event is there's exercises that you've created that the people in the room, you, the individual, are going to get to go through this exercise, and you're going to identify certain things in your life. This is not trauma. We're not bringing up trauma here. You're not going to leave feeling depressed. Okay. But by identifying, like when you do with a therapist, right, you identify why something happened. But until you release the vibration of, say, abandonment, all right, then abandonment is going to be showing up. So we're going to bring to your awareness through the process that JJ is going to do, what's kind of slowing you down, all right? Then I get to have the honor of releasing these from you. So you're going to bring them to the table. You're going to say, hey, I'm going to ask some questions like what emotions showed up during this exercise you just did. Then I'm going to release them from you. That's what really changes it. So do we have time for me to share a quick story?
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
my favorite story.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say, and Jay, you're going to smile. Let's say that mom forgot you in kindergarten and the emotion of abandonment trapped. Now emotions, ideally, we want them to come up and then flow through us. But when something like that is traumatic, or when we as a child identified with that, then we own it as, wow, subconsciously, we own that identity to abandonment. So now you're an adult, and this is a client of mine, and she comes to me and she's just having problems in relationships. And so she shares with me how her boyfriend had gone to Las Vegas, and he said he would text her in 2 hours. And 2 hours and 15 minutes went by, and she was on the phone with her mom, and she said, yeah, he's not my guy. Well, how long has it been? Her mom said, 2 hours, 15 minutes. And yet she was ready to leave this relationship because she felt abandoned. Now, a couple hours later, what happens? He calls her from another phone and says, hey, the lady sitting next to me is letting me use her phone. Mine was stolen. Right? So during therapy, we figured out that she had come to the conclusion, a realization that mom was busy that day. Now, for you, it could be that mom was PTA president and that was more important. It could be that mom suffered from depression and couldn't get out of bed and was running late, right? But the issue or the problem, it's not an issue. The awareness came to you as to why it was. So you were able to have clarity around it. But until we get rid of that vibration that trapped at that time, that's the signal the subconscious sends out. That's what you feel comfortable with. That's what got encoded in your mindset, in your energy blueprint. That's what I'm going to release.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I definitely have seen transformation both in myself as well as others in that way. And, we share a client that we work with together, and she's worked with you for a while, and she's definitely so much lighter. She's so much more positive. She's much more resilient. Mm-hmm. And we got into a conversation of something that it wasn't a pattern that was, it's a pattern of thinking. Right. It's a pattern of thinking, and it had come up and even though she's more resilient and even though she's lighter, there was still that conversation that we have in our head that
absolutely
comes that, right. So we've removed the vibration, but we still have the patterning of the processing. And so what I loved doing and helping her with after she cleared with you all of the energetic stuff was being able to go back in with the processing of how you talk to yourself, how you look at something, how you analyze it, how you relate to it
what you ask yourself,
right?
How you learn to pause and say, hey, wait a minute. Yeah.
Right. So as she was telling me the story, I realized, and I stopped her and I said, okay, this is a conscious, it doesn't have the same hold on you that it did emotionally before,
right?
Which is great because now it's going to be a much easier shift. But she still needed to make the conscious shift to realize the position she was taking in the situation and the habit of thought and the habit of processing and the habit of victimization that she would take about something happening to her instead of the realization that, I forgot to use these tools. And so now when we go back in with these tools, they actually work, they stick, and there's lasting change.
It makes life so much easier when you can implement the tools, kind of like when you're not procrastinating anymore, you're taking action. Right. You're owning who you are. You're owning your life.
Right. Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this with everybody today and share this with you is because I know that some people will kind of cling to a healer or a method or a trainer or a coach or something and say, this was sort of what worked for me. And I'm not going to discount that one person can't make a huge shift in your life. They absolutely can. It's what happens when you need to grow and move to the next level. It's when you've done one method for a while and it's shifted a certain part of you, but then you're still stuck in something. You're not sure what it is. What's coming in the near future is really a deep dive into some healing that I've been doing and how I've had a team of people, and Lisa's one of them, to help me through this process. And every single person, every single recommendation, every single part of that was necessary in order for me to actually get through and do what most doctors are saying is absolutely impossible. And when I get through with this, I can say, no, it was possible. And I told you that it was possible. And here, watch what I did. And here's my proof. Yeah. But until we're done with that, I'm not going to share that yet. But the point is that I wanted to make sure people understand that when you're doing any kind of work, whether it be with someone like Lisa or with someone like me, remember that there's sort of that inside and outside balance. There's that conscious and subconscious balance. That's their external energetic vibrational balance, as well as what you generate, the beliefs, the habits, the patterns of how you talk to yourself, what you do with your beliefs, how we're used to doing certain things. And sometimes that awareness on both sides can make all the difference. All the difference. And so that's why one of the benefits of releasing what weighs you down and the next big step in the events that we've been doing in 2018, and now one more time, at least in 2019, is again, you get that sort of collective healing of mind, body, and soul across the board.
It's amazing. If you have not been to this event, it's amazing because you get to focus on your life for 3 days. And I promise you, it's energetically high. You're going to leave feeling lighter. You're going to feel empowered. And the best part is you really will take steps in your life. You're not going to get hung up or tripping over things like you did before. This is a team all gathered together in one event.
And I'm going to publish Melanie's testimonial because, Melanie's done hundreds of events and she continues to tell me how it's a very unique event, the way that it's done, because I'm a big one on doing and processing. I don't want to talk at you. I want you in process. I want you to do the work. In fact, I had to start these events because as I work with people, both in a coaching way or in a personal training way, I'm doing that surface stuff with you. We need to get in the dirt. We need to get our hands dirty. We need to get in there and actually pull the weeds out.
Yeah.
The only way to do
We're pulling those, not just the top of the weed, right? We're not making it look good. We're getting to the root cause of what's holding you back, what's weighing you down.
Yep. So if you're someone who has done healing in the past with certain people and you felt like you've gotten to a certain level and maybe now you've plateaued or you're stuck or you don't know why, or you're saying to yourself, this happens too. Well, I worked with this person and we worked on this thing. Why am I not better here? Why is this still happening? Right. And, or I understand this. And so in reverse, right, we have sometimes I've worked with healers, like we know somebody that a lot of her audience are people that actually don't want to take responsibility. They want to delegate to a healer to say, here, just fix me. I don't want to have to do anything. Just fix me. And the unfortunate part is that while a healer can do a lot of work for you, they can't think for you. They can't be looking at the world for you. They can't be choosing your thoughts for you.
They can't take action for you. Yeah, we can't take action.
Right. Exactly. So if you're someone who in any way, shape or form has hit a wall in your growth, in your healing, in your releasing, that's why I wanted to just make sure I educated people, because I am a very firm believer in having that kind of team and having that inside out approach and having the people who can help you with blocks you don't even know are there. If you're still bumping up against something and saying the things like, well, yeah, but I know that. Oh, I know that. Okay. But are you living it? Are you living it and are you doing it? And that's the difference of what the kind of work that we're doing at Releasing What Weighs You Down and the work that both Lisa and I do. It's not about, I'm tired of hearing people say, yeah, I know that. Great. Are you living it? Do you live it every day or do you live it in balance? Right.
Well, those probably aren't our type of people
that
we're going to resonate with, because if you are that type of individual that already knows it all, then you're going to stay right where you are because you already know it all. You don't need any help from anyone else. And it also makes you very difficult, by the way, to relate with the rest of the world, because nobody wants to be around a know-it-all.
But even if
it's still victim.
It is. And I mean, I can relate to saying, oh, I know that. But I think there's a balance too. If you're very intelligent, you're tried lots of things and you understand it, you still can recognize when you understand it here, but you are not doing it. You are not.
But you're not doing it.
Right. And so
and that's where procrastination comes in. Sorry, I totally cut you off there.
Don't worry.
But that's part of like where I'm getting ready to get ready. Oh, I know I need to do this. I am going to do this, but you always have a reason why you're not doing it, right? You always know why you're not doing it. But the bottom line is you're procrastinating your life. You're procrastinating what you really want to be doing.
So if you're someone that needs help clearing procrastination or scarcity, you can join us for the event, or you can go to healwithlisa.com and work with Lisa. You don't have to come to the event.
Come to the event.
But
You're going to go so deeper if you come to the event in a quicker way, because it's just focused on you for 3 days.
Yeah. And again, just wanted to give people hope, because as we head into the holiday season, and as people think, oh, it's a holiday, and it's not the right time. And, one of the things that I loved about the intuition I got when we first did this event last year was I thought, January is a good time. January is a good time because people really do want to do things differently. So how can we help people clear the way to having a different experience? And for any of you listening to my show, my 2018 has been completely different, and right, and so and I can actually attest to a couple people in the room,
amazingly different,
right, amazingly different. But I did intend to release things, but I didn't have an intention about what that was, and I didn't have a way that looked. I just knew stepping into a new way of being and into emerging and expanding in a new way for me, and stepping out and taking a chance of saying, this is who I am. And it's okay if you don't agree and if you don't want to be on board, but having the confidence and the need to do that has really, obviously, you guys know, if you listen to my show, you know what's going on. If you're watching this on YouTube, you don't really know, but go to Spirit, Purpose, and Energy and listen to the shows and you'll be caught up. Yeah. But I wanted to, in retrospect, to thinking about some of the people who've attended both events in 2018, like I have a specific person in mind. She's one of my good friends and a fellow podcaster. I don't want to out her on the show here, but she has very difficult astrological placements. She's very stubborn earth signs in every place. And I have to say, I probably am most proud of how different she is now than she was in years past. And I have to feel somewhat of a little bit of contribution to that, you and I, to changing that energy. And she's got a Capricorn sun and a Taurus moon, and she's got all just stubborn earth signs. You guys are stubborn. If you if you know your astrology and your Virgo moon, well, forget if you're Virgo moon, just keep going. You're not gonna do it. But if you're any Capricorn or Taurus, please, we can help you. We promise. We will help you cut through the stubborn, fearful, box needing, safety needing, story you keep telling yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as the Virgo, right? Because Virgos have this beautiful gift of being able to multitask and get a lot done. So where we can help you is letting go of like this criticism that you have with yourself. You can be lighter. It doesn't have to be so caught up in the negative criticism of yourself.
So let's leave them with some parting words of hope and things that they can do. So obviously we'd love to have you join us at Releasing What Weighs You Down, the live event in January. Again, January 10th to the 13th.
Absolutely.
And don't let money be the reason why you don't do it. If you know you need to be there, reach out to me and let me work something out with you, because again, like I said, it's the last time it's going to be as convenient as it is. Even if you don't live in town, there's a shuttle that comes to pick you up. There's
it's so
roommate
easy.
With. We cover all the food, all the drinks. So it's
3 meals, everybody.
And
3
drinks and snacks all day long.
Organic. It's nutritious. 3 meals a day. We've got, you're so covered and nurtured and taken care of. JJ does a beautiful job.
So if you can't make the live event, there is still the virtual ticket, which gets you 3 months of accountability to make sure you implement the things that you learned, as well as you get all of the sessions. So it's the next best thing to being there, if that's of interest to you. And then if nothing else, just know that
it is.
Yep. The next best thing after that would be just to reach out to one of us, Lisa or I, and get some help. If you're at a place where you want 2019 to be different and you're serious about it, that's the other thing. Please don't come if you're not serious. If you're serious about it, you're ready for change. You know that you can expand more than you have been in the past. We're here to help you. And so we just want to make sure.
And you want to embrace it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're afraid of change, yes, we can help you with that. But just if you're ready to embrace change and trust that good things are going to come because you believe that they will, I promise you they will.
Yeah.
JJ promises that too.
I absolutely do. I've seen it happen. It's very exciting. And I just want to give you hope, if nothing else, if you're watching this and you live in Australia, if you live in Australia, you need to tell me whether or not you actually are serious. I've had people write to me, and we'll consider Australia as possibly an event. But if you're watching this, I just want to be able to give you hope that both of us have seen transformation in many people that we've helped together, and that you have the ability to make your life different, and we can help you.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone, releasingwhatweighyoudown.com. We hope to see you there or on the virtual ticket. And if not, have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.